Hello my third prep students. Welcome back in a new lesson of science تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Today is the last lesson in our syllabus, which is we are going to make a conclusion about all the last lesson of the hormone and the hormonal disorder, and we are going to make a certain revision on this part. At the beginning, we started in the hormones. That يعني إيه كلمة هرمون? What's meant by hormone? Hormone is the chemical messages or chemical substances that secretes in the blood and control all the body functions of the body. And we know that all these hormones are secreted from a kind of organs بسميها glands, and it is ductless or endocrine glands. We said what's meant by ductless. Ductless يعني has no duct because it secretes its secretion directly in the blood, targeting a certain cells called target cells. And the target cells دايما بتبقى away from the endocrine gland. This is the first point which we covered before. And we started to recognize what are the types of glands that inside your body, part of it or some of it. It's not all the glands, by the way. We talked about the pituitary gland, which we call it master or the main gland. وعرفنا ليه؟ Because it controls and stimulates all the other glands to secrete its hormone. وعرفنا main hormone of the pituitary gland is called growth hormone, and we know the stimulating hormone which is resulted from the pituitary gland, either thyroid stimulating hormone, sexual organ stimulating hormones, and mammary gland stimulating hormones, and other hormones which help in facilitating the delivery during the labor or the حالات الولادة, and also to regulate the amount of water in the blood. تمام؟ عشان كده we called it a master or the main gland. And we took another gland which is the second gland, which is the thyroid gland. وعرفنا each one of those glands, the location and the description and the kind of hormone that's secreted. وعرفنا in the thyroid gland located in the neck around the trachea, and we said before that it secretes two main secretions or hormone called, the first hormone is thyroxine hormone and the second is calcitonin hormone. And we knew before that the thyroxine is related to assimilation of the food processes to liberate the energy which we use it during the food processing, وبنستخدم الانرجي دي to do vital activities. And another hormone which is calcitonin hormone, which affect how we control the level of the calcium in the blood. The third gland which we spoke about it is the قلنا thyroid وقلنا pituitary. The third one is the adrenal gland, وقلنا adrenal gland it stick or adhere to the kidneys, the two kidneys, and it's responsible for secretion of the adrenaline hormone, which secreted in the emergencies, either in the fear and anger and all the emotions, even love. بيحصل برضو increasing للadrenaline hormone. And the next one, we spoke about the reproductive glands hormones, either في الفيميل and the male. قلنا الميل الجلاندز بتاعته اللي هي التستس secretes testosterone hormone. ده related to the appearance of the secondary sexual characteristics, and the female reproductive glands, which are in ovaries, that secretes either estrogen and progesterone hormones. The estrogen, which is related to the appearance of the secondary sexual characteristics of the female, and the progesterone, which is responsible for the growth of the endometrium that lining the uterus. And we also spoke about the pancreas, which is a very important gland which help in عندها two roles أو بنسميها double function gland, because it is ductless gland and duct gland. We said it is duct gland because it secretes digestive juice which help in the digestion اللي هي pancreatic juice, and ductless gland because it secretes a lot of hormones, or two hormones, mainly two hormones, which are insulin and glucagon hormones. And also we knew the function of the importance of the two hormones, and we knew that they are contradicted together للبعض. One of them, which is the insulin, helps to reduce the level of the sugar in the blood by converting it into glycogen stored in the liver. والجلوكاجون يروح للليفر ياخد المخزون اللي هو الجلايكوجين and be converted again into insulin, so the level of the to the sugar, glucose sugar in the blood, so the level of the sugar still as it is, either no decreasing or no increasing. And then after we mention all those glands and those secretions and those important hormones, we move in the disorders that occurs due to any disorder يحصل في any gland of them. وقلنا disorder either by increasing or the decreasing of the secretion of the hormones. We started with if there is any effect حصل لأي gland منهم, either مثلا لو قلنا pituitary gland which secrete growth hormone, قلنا if the growth hormone decreases be related أو be result the formation of dwarfism, يبتدي الإنسان يبقى قزم. أو لو حصل increasing للجروث هرمون بيحصل جاينتزم اللي هو العملاقة، بيبقى عملاق. This is about the growth hormone. and قلنا لو حصل any deficiency أو حصل any disorder in the thyroid glands hormones اللي هو الثايروكسين، لو حصل decreasing بيحصل السيمبل جويتر، لو حصل increasing بيحصل الاكزوفثالميك جويتر. وعرفنا الفيتشرز differences between both with symptoms of both. You have to know quite well the symptoms of all the diseases. لما يقول لي the disease that leads to the exophthalmosis، ودي كلمة مميزة جدا، exophthalmosis or loss of weight، يبقى لازم أقول exophthalmic goiter. طب the disease that resulted بس just enlargement of the neck due to deficiency in the iodine in the food، هقول السيمبل goiter. وطبعا عرفنا أهمية الأيودين in the food because it increased the secretion of the thyroxine hormone. And finally also we know the disorder that happens فين نتيجة decreasing or increasing in the secretion of the pancreatic the pancreas اللي هو endocrine gland اللي هو pancreas، either الديفكتس اللي بيحصل في secretion of the insulin. فلما بيحصل decreasing للإنسولين بيحصل إيه؟ هو الوظيفة بتاعته ان هو بيريديوس او decreasing the amount of sugar. لما هو بيقل الشوجر ليفل بينكريز in the blood leads to a very important او famous disease called diabetes اللي هو مرضى السكر. وعرفنا ايه السيمبتومز اللي هي thirsty all the time and needs to urinate a lot of time. After we make all the sum up of this part اللسن كله عملنا له wrapping and sum up. And also we have to know تاخد بالنا جدا من انواع الاسئله اللي بيقول لك what happens if increasing in the growth hormone decreasing in the growth hormone. تبص على طول increasing او decreasing يبقى هتتكلم على disorder. تفوكس if it is decreasing يبقى هتكلم على dwarfism it related to او leads to decreasing أو deficiency in the growth of the bones which leads to dwarfism. طب increasing in the secretion of the growth hormone هتقول continuous growth of the limb related أو leading to gigantism. كل مرض من دول ممكن يجيب لي what happens if either by increasing or decreasing أو ممكن يجيب لي compare between أي واحد منهم. طب now after we sum up and wrap all the lessons together, we're going to make a simple questions to نركز مع بعض ونحاول نحل عشان نشوف ايه الكونكلوجن اللي احنا طلعنا منه من اللسن ده. أول type of question in front of us now is a kind of match. Let's see the match here in front of you, the column A and column B. In column A here, I have a lot of diseases. Kind of diseases which happens due to the hormonal disorder. And in the next column عندي ال reason of this disease. Then مطلوب مني ان انا اماتش كل kind of disease بالريزن بتاعه. طب let's كده نقرا بشويش ونشوف مع بعض. اول حاجه الدايابيتس. انا as I said before ممكن وانت بتحل الكويستشن ده this kind of question ask yourself الدايابيتس ده بيحصل ليه و try to think about الريزن أو سببه أو إيه وقوله and then start to read الكولوم and choose what you said by yourself. طيب الدايابيتس هو طبعا هو نتيجة، هو أولا نتيجة deficiency في الانسولين، فهندور على أي حاجة فيها انسولين ونشوف إيه. نمبر 1 هو إيه هنا بيقول لي is resulted from decreasing in growth hormone secretion. طبعا الدايابيتس ملوش أي علاقة بالجروث هرمون، دي false. نمبر B is resulted from decreasing in the thyroxine hormone secretion. Also برضو diabetes no relation between diabetes and thyroxine hormone. As I said هدور على انسولين او جلايكوجين وفوكس كويس جدا وانا بتشوز، عشان sometimes بيبقى فيه two answers related لبعض، ف I have to focus كويس جدا. الدايابيتس number C is caused by decreasing in the insulin hormone. هو دي قريبة طبعا، دي معانا. طب نكمل برضو don't rush yourself, you have to read all the options and then return back and choose the answer. Number D related to the increase in the growth hormone. طبعا no. Takes place due to the increase in the thyroxine hormone. No. Appears as a result of decreasing in progesterone hormone. Of course the answer is number C. يبقى 1 diabetes is caused by decreasing in the insulin hormone. And I know that all of you answer it alone, but you have to بعد ما تعمل answer check your answer وتاخد من الكولوم اللي قدامك. طب السيمبل جويتر I know السيمبل جويتر بيحصل نتيجة حاجة في انهي نوع من الهرمونز؟ الثايروكسين هرمون. طب ديكريز ولا انكريز؟ ديكريز، يبقى ادور على الحل بتاعي. يبقى نمبر A resulted from decreasing in the growth hormone secretion in the childhood. ملوش علاقة الجويتر بالجروث هرمون. resulting of decreasing in the thyroxine hormone. طبعا هي decreasing ولا increasing؟ yes هي B. it's number 2 is the goiter, simple goiter resulted from decreasing in the secretion of the thyroxine hormone. طب dwarfism. I know that all of you know that dwarfism is resulted from deficiency in the growth hormone, decreasing in the growth hormone. طب which one? Of course it's number A. يبقى I choose number 3 which is dwarfism with number A. طب exophthalmic goiter. exophthalmic اللي هو second disease that coming from the disorder of the thyroid gland secretion, the thyroxine hormone. طب is it decreasing ولا increasing؟ it's increasing. يبقى هدور it takes place due to the increase in the thyroxine hormone secretion which is number E. يبقى number 4 is with E. Finally, number 5, which joinetism happens due to the increasing, continuous increasing in the growth hormone, which is which one? Number D, which is 5. It's related to the increasing in the growth hormone secretion. So, this table, we sum up all the diseases and all the symptoms, أو مش symptoms, resulted from A, either by decreasing or increasing in the hormone, وربطنا diseases بالإيه؟ بالreason بتاعتها. We are going to move to another type of question which is very nice question ومهم جدا برضه sum up all من أول كل الجلاندز بالfunctions بتاعتها. Let's go to the board and see this type of question together. Let's see now a certain type of question which is different from the other type, which is related to a figure. بيجيب لي figure بيقول لي studying the following figure then answer the following questions. طيب مديني الفيجر ده ومديني numbering and طالب مني the following figure show some endocrine glands in the human body. دول endocrine glands some of it اللي موجودة في your body. هنشوف الكويستشنز اللي كلها اللي عليها. و in this type of question you have to focus well على الطلب اللي مطلوب منك. الكويستشن ايه؟ The first question here بيقول لي ايه؟ label the figure. بيقول لي label. Number 1 is ايه؟ هنا ادي البرين وقلنا the gland that it is below the brain هي مين؟ Number 1 ها try of yourself. Number 1 is of course is pituitary gland. Very excellent. Okay, the second one here which is located in the neck which is thyroid gland. Of course it's thyroid glands. يبقى هنا عرفنا ان location و description كان مهم جدا. Yes of course it's very important because if you got it as a label يمكن تعرف تكتب اماكنهم وتعرف اساميهم. Number 3, this is the what? It's the gland that between the stomach and the small intestine. ها it's what احنا قلنا pituitary and thyroid. Number 3 is the pancreas. والبنكرياس له شكل مميز، شكل الليف of the any plant، مميز جدا الشكل بتاعه جدا. Number 4, this is the kidney and it's a gland which is above, adhered or stick to the kidney، بنسميها adrenal gland. يبقى number 4 is adrenal gland. طيب number 5 here is the reproductive gland of the male. reproductive gland of the male اسمها ايه؟ اسمها two tests. يبقى number 5 here is the tests. طب what about number 6 if it is this human being is a female? reproductive glands of the female is called two ovaries. ده two ovaries. طيب this is the first figure وعرفنا الأسئلة اللي عليه. question اللي بعده برضو على نفس الفيجر، بيقول لي طالب مني another kind، بيقول لي mention the number of the figure that indicates each of the following statements. هنا very important question، سؤال بقى للأذكياء اللي بيركزوا. ايه بقى؟ وانا عارفه انكم كلكم very intelligent and we are going to concentrate very well. هيديني اي معلومه صغيره زي لعبه كده الجاسنج او جاس اي حاجه، يديني معلومه ويريليت الانفورميشن دي to which gland، كاني بعمل بازل ما بين الانفورميشن and the gland. تعالوا نشوف اول ستيتمنت عندي بتقول ايه. بتقول لي the gland which secretes growth hormone. مين الجلاند that secrete growth hormone؟ هو مطلوب مني ان انا احط النمبر. طبعا before I put the number I have to mention its name. growth hormone بتسكريت by which gland? Of course it's by the pituitary gland. So here I'm going to put number 1 in front of the answer اللي هي pituitary gland. طبعا if I don't know the gland طبعا مش هعرف اي numbering من ده ولا هعرف احط حاجه. يبقى here ده 2 in 1 question بيعرفني ان انا اعرف the name of the gland and the function of the gland and relate the number to the situation or المكان location of the gland. فهو very important question. The statement number 2. Which one of those number is considered the master gland؟ طبعا ask yourself المين or master gland على طول جاوب. يبقى ايه هي؟ I know that you know it. It's pituitary gland. طب pituitary gland here takes which number? Number 1. يبقى here the answer is number 1. And don't confuse. ممكن كلهم يبقوا number 1. ممكن كلهم يبقوا number 3 أو 4 أو 5. طالما أنت are you sure from your answer? So write it as you know. The statement number 3. The gland which secrete enzymes and hormones. طيب احنا عارفين hormones. طب what about enzymes دي؟ طب كلمة enzymes دي it's not a new word for us. احنا third prep you know the meaning of enzymes. We took it in the first unit. Enzymes دي chemicals that secretes in the body that برضو بتactivate ال chemical processes, ال chemical reactions as we took before. طب مين الأورجن اللي قلنا عليه ان هو بيعمل دبل فانكشن وبيسكريت انزيمز يمكن ما قلناش بيسكريت انزيمز بس قلنا ان هو duct gland and ductless gland at the same time. طالما قلنا ductless يبقى بيسكريت هرمونز، duct gland يبقى بيسكريت انزيم اور جوسز اللي هي الدايجستيف جوس. يبقى كلمه انزيم هو هنا بيلعب معايا شويه، بيصعبها لي شويه، بدل ما يقول لي digestive juice بيختبرني حط لي enzymes but it's very easy. I know I have only one gland that it has double function act as duct or ductless gland which is number what؟ طبعا انا عارفه you know that you know it اللي هو البنكرياس. which number؟ number 3. طب انا عرفت منين ان الاورجن ده او الجلاند دي هي الوحيده في كل الجلاندز اللي I know it that it helps بتسكريت هرمون عشان كده بسميها ductless gland وبتسكريت انزيمز او جوس عشان كده بسميها duct gland. اوكي وهي بتلعب دورين، دور in the digestion and دور in the hormones and secretion of insulin hormone. نشوف الستيتمنت اللي بعد كده. The gland that controls the secretion of gland number 5. عايز الجلاند اللي بتكنترول the secretion of gland number 5. So لازم ارجع للدايجرام وانا اشوف ايه الجلاند نمبر 5. الجلاند نمبر 5 واقول النيم بتاعها هي ايه؟ تيستس. طب مين الجلاند اللي بتكنترول التيستس؟ of course you all of you know the master gland اللي هي مين؟ البيتيوتري. البيتيوتري دي اللي هي number 1 الماستر أو المين gland، هي اللي بتكنترول the major of those glands. So the number 5 which is the testes controlled by number 1 which is the pituitary gland, so the answer is number 1. شوف الفيجر اللي بعده. The gland whose hormone controls the level of the calcium in the blood. طب أنا عندي only one gland هي اللي responsible for the controlling the calcium in the blood by producing a certain hormone called إيه من اسمه calcitonin hormone. مين الجلاند that produces calcitonin hormone وبتكنترول الكالسيوم؟ You know, of course, all of you, it's the thyroid gland which is number 2 ولها كمان هرمون تاني اللي هو thyroxine hormone. Of course, I know that all of you answer with me because it's ده لامم كل اللسن together مع بعض. Number 6. The gland which secretes a hormone stimulates body organ to respond to emergencies. طبعا في كل question أو كل statement بقراها and I'm going to search for a keyword to answer. Here عندي a very important keyword هي كلمة emergency. كلمة emergencies دي ما بتظهرش غير مع only one gland، مع only one hormone. طب ايه هو الهرمون اللي بيحصل في حالة emergencies؟ like الفير، like anger، like emotions، happiness، love and whatever، هو الادرينالين هرمون. طب الادرينالين هرمون resulted from which gland؟ from the adrenal gland which is above the kidneys، يبقى number 4. يبقى the answer is number 4. شوف الستيتمنت اللي بعدها. The gland which secretes hormones that regulate the amount of glucose sugar in the blood. Mean responsible for regulation of the sugar in the blood. You know, I know that you know the hormone والgland. الهرمون اسمه ايه؟ insulin. طب الجلاند اسمها ايه؟ of course the pancreas. طب النمبر ايه؟ it's number 3. It's very easy by the way. Okay? طيب. The two glands that never exist in the same body. طبعا كل الجلاندز دي ممكن تبقى موجودة في the same body except مين؟ الجلاندز اللي never تبقى موجودة في the same feature of the same structure. هنا we put it by the way but just for labeling but never ever be together in the same body. طبعا all of you know number 5 and 6. 5 is the testes, it must be in the male, and the ovaries must be in the female. So the two glands that never be together in the same figure is number 5 and number 6 because one of them is the reproductive gland or reproductive organ of the male, which is the testes, and the other one which is the reproductive organ or of the female, which are the two ovaries. Here exercise ده is very important exercise because في كام point. Number 1 عرفني location of all the glands، عرفني names of the gland، عرفني كمان مين بتستيميوليت ومين الماستر ومين المين ومين ستيميوليت مين. كمان also بيديني هو certain functions وأنا بريليتد للجلاند. So it's very important exercise be sum up all the hormones that we took it together in this lesson. Next هنا تعالوا مع بعض نشوف another kind of question which is choose. We have a lot of questions in kind of choose. We'll choose دايما. It seems to be easy, but for me it you have to be very conscious and concentrate very well in choosing your answer. Sometimes انت بتrush yourself وما didn't read the question until the full stop بتchoose any kind of answers. ففوكس الأول انت وانت قبل ما choose answer it alone and then search for your answer that you said it. Your answer is the right answer by the way. طب let's see the first question here. Number 1. The chemical substances, try to answer alone before I said the answer by the way. The chemical substance that controls the organ or organizes most of the body vital activities is the Is it protein or enzyme or hormone or endocrine gland? هنا I have to underline my keyword the chemical substances. Chemical substances وكمان بتعمل ايه؟ بتcontrol and organizes all the vital activities. Of course اللي هي title of our lesson is the answer is hormone. I know that all of you answered it before me. Number 2. Hormones are secreted from which glands? Either. طبعا answer alone and then choose. أول حاجة sweat gland, endocrine gland, ولا target glands, ولا mammary glands. طبعا of course I know that all of you you know the answer which is endocrine gland. طب تعالوا نشوف معاني التانية. sweat gland هي الجلاند that responsible for secretion of sweat اللي هو العرق. طبعا دي مش هي. التارجت هي target cell, it's not a gland. المامري جلاند دي it's responsible for secretion of milk. المامز اللي في البريست فيدنج اثناء الرضاعه المامري جلاند دي الجلاند اللي بتسكريت الميلك. So الانسر هير الهرمون secreted from which one of those of course is endocrine gland. Number 3. What is the only way of hormones to reach their sites of action? الطريقة الوحيدة إن الهرمون توصل للسايت بتاعها إيه؟ You answer it? I know that you answer it. Is it enzyme or lymph or blood or duct? طبعا I know that all of you you know that it's blood لأن الإندوكراين جلاند it's ductless فduct دي ما تنفعش. lymph دي kind of cells inside the body مش علينا ومش ما خدناهاش. طيب انزيم ملهاش علاقه بالموضوع. the only way of the hormones عشان توصل للسايت بتاعها اللي هو التارجت سيل بتاخد ايه؟ البلد. يبقى the answer is the blood. Number 4. the target cells are cells that target cells هي السيلز that ايه؟ السيلز اللي بتسكريت هرمون. خلي بالكم الكويستشن ده very tricky. نركز كويس جدا. التارجت سيل هي السيلز اللي بتسكريت هرمون؟ لا طبعا اللي بتسكريت هرمون دي اسمها endocrine gland. So the first one is wrong. that transfer hormone؟ لا طبعا no it's not transferring hormone. are affected by hormone؟ هنشوف. هي refuse receiving hormone؟ ها did you know the answer now؟ of course التارجت سيل هي السيل اللي بتأفكت by the hormone. السيل اللي رايح لها الهرمون. So the answer is are affected by the hormone. Next question. All of the following are considered from endocrine gland except which gland؟ تمام هو اديني هنا مجموعة من الجلاندز بيقول لي كلهم they are considered endocrine except واحدة بس. طيب أنا I know all the endocrine glands خدناهم. طب تعالوا نشوف. pituitary is a endocrine, thyroid is a endocrine, adrenal is a endocrine. طب what about sweat؟ احنا we took sweat glands معانا؟ طبعا no because sweat is not an endocrine gland لأنها لها ducts وبتسكريت السكريشن بتاعها عن طريق ducts. So the answer is sweat which is the only one is not an endocrine gland. Pituitary gland is called the what gland? I know that all of you answer it without choices. It is considered what? Yes, it's activity or master or main or B and C. طبعا هي master ومين. So here هو بيعمل لي تريك كده شويه عشان انا اول ما اشوف ماستر اتشوز الماستر من غير ما اقرا. عشان كده you have to read the question carefully. You have to read the answer all of it. هنا بيديني activity. طب ماستر تنفع ومين تنفع ومديني the last answer is D, B and C. So I will choose B and C. شفنا بقى هنا ان التشوز بيبقى tricky ساعات وبيبقى فيه tricky questions. You have to focus. Number 7. All of the following are hormones secreted by pituitary glands except. طبعا لو احنا قعدنا نميمورايز كده مع بعض ونريفايز البيتيوتري جلاند هرمونز هنلاقيهم كذا هرمونز except مين؟ تعالوا نشوف. الجروث هرمون be secreted by pituitary. Activating hormone of the sexual gland yes البيتيوتري بتactivate السكشوال هرمونز. Thyroid stimulating hormone yes of course عشان كده احنا مسمينها main or master gland. طيب لها علاقة بالكالسيتونين هرمون؟ no the only answer here هي كالسيتونين هرمون. هي البيتيوتري مالهاش علاقة. ده هرمون related للثايرويد gland. What secretes facilitating hormone during delivery? Which أو A مين هو هنا بيقول لي مين secretes مش الهرمون. sometimes بتconfuse اكتب الهرمون ولا اكتب الجلاند. هنا بيقول لي what secretes مين الجلاند that secretes facilitating hormone during delivery. is it pituitary gland or ovaries or adrenal gland or thyroid gland. مين اللي بتستيميوليت او بتفاسيليتيت الدليفري بتاع البيبيز؟ هي of course الماستر جلاند اللي هي البيتيوتري جلاند. The disorder resulted due to the decrease of the secretion in the growth hormone. هنا عندي disorder اللي بيحصل في الجروث هرمون نتيجة الجروث هرمون is at childhood. ايه اللي بيحصل؟ ولازم افوكس كمان disorder here it's decreasing in the يبقى underlying what? disorder and underlying the word decrease in the secretion of growth hormone. هما الثلاثة كيز بتوعي disorder decrease in the growth hormone, so easily I will choose dwarfism. The hormone which determines the height that the person will reach at adulthood stage. مين الهرمون that's responsible for the height الطول؟ is it thyroxine hormone, insulin or testosterone or growth hormone? Of course it's growth hormone. The endocrine gland that lies in front surface of the neck. الجلاند اللي موجودة في front surface of the neck. all of you طبعا جاوبتوها. in both sides of the trachea اللي موجودة هنا مين without choices؟ is it pituitary or thyroid or adrenal or pancreas? Of course the answer is the thyroid gland. I hope from this question to revise all the lesson together and it will be easily for you. The hormone which regulate the level of calcium in blood is what hormone? level of calcium. طبعا كل مرة بفوكس and underline الكي اللي بحل بيه. هو هنا بيقول لي calcium الهرمون that regulates the calcium. which hormone? It's calcitonin hormone is the first answer. calcitonin hormone is secreted from. طالما بيقول لي secreted from يبقى عايز النيم of the gland. النيم of the gland ايه؟ is it pancreas, thyroid gland, pituitary gland or parathyroid gland? طبعا of course it's the thyroid gland. الباراثايرويد it's kind of gland مش علينا بس هي para يعني means near جنب الثايرويد. في another gland اسمها parathyroid يعني near أو approaching جنبها جنب الثايرويد gland. The what hormones liberates the need of energy from the food stuff. مين الهرمون اللي بيدينا بيخلي الفود يطلع الانرجي اللي فيه؟ is it growth hormone, estrogen or thyroxine or testosterone hormone? Of course it's thyroxine hormone. The disorder resulted from the increase of the thyroxine hormone secretion in large amount. هنا بيقول لي ايه disorder عايز الديزيز that resulted from increase in the thyroxine hormone. طيب هو exophthalmic goiter ولا simple goiter ولا diabetes ولا dwarfism؟ عندي تو خلاص excluded اللي هم diabetes والdwarfism ملهمش علاقة بالثايروكسين. عندي two another disease related to the thyroxine. ابتدي افلتر الانسرز بتاعتي. طب which one of them due to increasing in the thyroxine? Of course it's the exophthalmic goiter because the simple due to the decrease in the thyroxine hormone. The hormone whose deficiency causes the enlargement of the thyroid gland. مين الهرمون اللي deficiency بتاعته بتعمل لي enlargement in the thyroid gland؟ هو عايز الهرمون يبقى هو estrogen or insulin or thyroxine or glucagon. of course thyroid يبقى thyroxine hormone. The hormone which stimulates the release of glucose sugar from liver is what hormone؟ الكويستشن ده is very important question. هنا بيقول لي جاب لي معلومة من نص الكلام من نص الكونفرجن اللي احنا شرحناه قبل كده. بيقول لي مين الهرمون that stimulates the release of glucose sugar from the liver. مين الهرمون اللي بيشتغل على الستورد شوجر in the liver؟ طبعا هو ما اسموش شوجر، طالما stored in the liver بقى له اسم تاني، بقى اسمه جلايكوجين، بس هو هنا بيديهولي as a tricky question عشان انا لما اقول جلايكوجين هبقى سهل عليا على طول. طب يبقى هنا I have to focus. بيقول لي that stimulate the release of glucose sugar from liver is which هرمون؟ مين اللي بيروح يشتغل على الستورد جلايكوجين او stored sugar in the liver؟ هو which hormone is the glycogen hormone. اوعى تتلخبط هنا وتقول انسولين، لو لقيت شوجر الله ده في شوجر اشتغل انسولين، لا، فوكس. هنا بيقول لي مين اللي بيروح يشتغل على الستورد جلايكوجين اللي موجود في الليفر، بس هو هنا ما قاليش جلايكوجين، he said glucose stored، بس انا I know that the stored sugar in the liver بقى اسمه اتحول لايه؟ اسمه جلايكوجين، واللي بيأفكت عليه اسمه اسمه جلايكوجين، والهرمون اسمه جلوكاجون هرمون. The hormone that stimulates the storage of glucose sugar in the liver is what hormone؟ هنا برضو بيسألني مين اللي بيستيميليت the storage of glucose sugar in the liver؟ مين اللي بيشتغل عليه؟ is it thyroxine ولا insulin ولا parathyroid hormone ولا estrogen؟ so it is insulin. Glucagon hormone is secreted by A. Glucagon ده secreted by A pancreas على طول without any choices. Pituitary, thyroid, adrenaline or pancreas. Of course pancreas secrete two hormones, insulin and glucagon hormone. The hormone which stimulates the body organ to respond to emergencies. قلت أول ما أشوف كلمة emergency على طول من غير ما أفكر ولا أدور على choices هو مين؟ Is it insulin or glycogen ولا estrogen ولا adrenaline؟ قلنا الادرينالين هو الهرمون that resulted in the emergencies. What resulted due to the decrease in the secretion of the insulin hormone؟ اللي بيحصل لو بيحصل decreasing in the secretion of the insulin hormone. هنا بيسألني على disease، يا ترى هيبقى في diabetes, dwarfism, giantism or simple goiter؟ هنا insulin, so the disease is diabetes disease. Man suffers from which disease when his food lacks iodine؟ أول ما ألاقي iodine على طول أدور على إيه الديزيزز اللي بتسببها لي lack of iodine. هو is it dwarfism or diabetes, giantism or simple goiter؟ قلنا هو simple goiter هو اللي بيسبب نتيجة deficiency in the iodine، عشان كده وبننصح دايما that you increase the amount of iodine in your food. Element shares in the composing thyroxine hormone. ايه هو الاليمنت اللي بيساعد في increasing الثايروكسين هرمون؟ لسه قايلينه دلوقتي، هو مين؟ is it iodine, iron, sodium or no correct answer iodine. الايودين فاوند قلنا في كل السي فود in the salt، في الملح بتاع الاكل موجود فيه نسبه كبيره جدا من الايودين، اور في حاجات كتيره من منتجات الفيش اور السي فود. so the answer is iodine. Simple goiter occurs when the thyroxine hormone decreases due to the lack of what in the food؟ of course احنا لسه قايلين شبهه. of course it is iodine deficiency in the food leads to deficiency in the thyroxine hormone. What hormones the hormones that responsible for the appearance of secondary sexual male characters is which hormone؟ طبعا هنا sexual male characters على طول دماغي تروح للreproductive glands والreproductive hormones. هو مين؟ وميل، طالما قال لي ميل يبقى which hormone؟ progesterone or testosterone or adrenaline or growth hormone. so the male responsible for the hormone that's responsible for the sexual characteristics is the testosterone hormone. The hormone that promotes the growth of the endometrium is what hormone؟ on the endometrium ده related للفيميل، والفيميل عندها two hormones either estrogen or progesterone. طب which one هو اللي بيفاسيليتيت او بيhelp in the growth of the endometrium؟ growth ولا insulin ولا estrogen ولا progesterone؟ of course the answer is the progesterone. The glands which secretes testosterone hormone are called ايه؟ هو هنا عايز يسألني على الجلاند، هو بيلعب لعبة بقى، يا جلاند يا هرمون، يا هرمون يا جلاند يا ديس اوردر. كل الكويستشن بتلف حوالين 3 points not more. يبقى هنا مين الجلاند that secretes testosterone؟ of course is the 2 tests of the male, so the answer is the 2 tests. The hormone responsible for the appearance of the female secondary sex characteristics is which hormone? Is it parathyroid hormone, or estrogen, insulin, or testosterone؟ هنا هفوكس male secondary sex characteristics، يبقى على طول هو estrogen hormone. Move in another type of question which is scientific term. احنا خدنا كده نوع تاني من الأسئلة اللي هو التشوز، خدنا labeling and choose. The last one here هو ال scientific term. We're going to move in two of the kind of questions in the scientific term. The first one بيقول لي إيه؟ organ secretes hormones directly into the bloodstream. مين الأورجن اللي بيسكريتس على طول السكريشن بتاعه directly in the blood؟ So of course is what? endocrine glands. أو ممكن تقول ductless gland، but the more scientific word هي endocrine gland. طيب the chemical messages or substances that control the regulation and the activity and the function of the body organs is called what؟ احنا ما خدناش غير chemicals واحدة أو chemical substance أو messages واحدة، هي مين؟ هي الهرمونز. The last question: they are the cells that the hormones affect and they are almost located away from the endocrine gland that secretes the hormone. طالما قال لي cells و away from the endocrine gland ما عنديش غير answer واحدة which is the target cell. Now by this type of question we wrap and sum up all the lesson of the hormones and the hormonal disorders, and I hope that you understand it well. Try to study the lesson quite well and revise this type of question, and I hope that you understand it. Thank you so much for your good listening. See you next time and goodbye.